Heaven sounds weird, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. But here we are. So this is heaven, apparently. It's just a series of lights. I saw that those were lined up briefly. I wonder if I'm supposed to get these all lined up? Like choose one color, get them all lined up. This seems like everything is kind of moving. They're not quite lined up. Is there anything that's actually all the way lined up yet? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. This entire game is weird, so... How dare you? I have one recorded voice message for you. Someone is trying to reach out to you about your vehicle's extended warranty. Again? How many warranties do I have on my car? All I know is that if I touch these... I forgot that I can also crouch. I can also crouch if I need to. So I can stop everything if I just touch the wall. I have no idea what to do here, but I'm thinking like maybe the color of the lights makes a difference. Maybe I just need to have every like one in each row, one in each column be of the same color and line them all up. I don't know. There are 19 different endings, are there? Different endings. Gotta head to bed, leaving the stream up as always. Have a great night, Cat. A-Bomb, thank you so much for the lurk/slurk. Thank you for all of the support that you give. Thank you so much. I feel like I don't say that often enough, but thank you. And get a good night's sleep. Okay, bye. Even people trying to buy my house, which isn't even in my name, it's in my parents' name. My car is in my name now, at least. For the longest time it wasn't, but now it is. Achievements enabled. So this is where we have that one, but perhaps... I don't know what to do here, but we can come back here later. Begin the game again. Did I do it? Is it gonna leave me? Oh yeah, so it still saves my progress overall. What else shall I do? Because there's some places that I haven't been to yet. Says all for this one push the button. Well, it says for this one push the button. So it says awaiting input. As soon as I did that, it brought me to heaven. So I don't want to do that right now. I want to see what else there is to do here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
The end is never the end.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a
farted?
trace of his co-workers.
Do all the computers say that now? The end is never the end. That one doesn't say it. A lot of these computers do, though. Although the papers aren't on the floor anymore. Not all the computers have that on there, though. I wonder if that's the other door that it wants me to go into. We got 420 over there. Just turn off all the computers. I don't like the music, it's really ominous. This the room with the doors again?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because there was like the escape ending if I went over this way. I didn't go through the escape. I just did all the things that he wanted me to do.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
We already read all these, we don't need to go through that again. There were that many, but one is push the button. I went into the broom closet too.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
That's different. So it seems like it does save my progress in a way every time I start the game over, so to say. Because the first time I went in here, he went on a whole tirade about how there's nothing to do in this broom closet. Broom closet is my favorite. I never went down there either.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I never went down the stairs either, but I want to see what this escape is supposed to be over here. Oh! I can go into the executive bathroom this time. I couldn't go in here before. Be rich, is it a crime to commit crimes? Isn't it rich? What a life would be to have to pick just one. Extreme bathrooms. There's Time magazine. I think that's copyright infringement. I think my favorite route is just pissing off the narrator by doing the opposite of what he says. I mean, I have gotten really confusing, like, it's like, oh, everything's getting all melty and stuff. I haven't been able to get into the bathroom before. I guess it will let me get in there. I wonder why it wasn't letting me in there before. Oh yeah, I couldn't go in there before either. I really do want to see what these other endings are though.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
But before I didn't do anything and just, oh, it opened on its own. How weird is that? This time I pressed the buttons. Can I grab the briefcase? Amazing choice of game. How are you liking it so far? Naps, hello.
Hello!
I got this game for free quite a while ago, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. It looks like fun. The only portion of this game I'd ever seen before was the broom closet, and oh boy, is that fun. Wait, was it going up before? It was going up briefly, wasn't it? I think putting in incorrect codes pisses him off too. I really need to see.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
If the light is on, call extension 914 immediately. So we already did that part, but what's over here? What's in the escape?
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I need to see.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
So, should I do it? What would happen if I did that? That I missed the first part, I'll have to watch the VOD? It'll be there for 2 weeks and probably will go on YouTube eventually.
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Went through it again.
Nope, still on board with death.
Yep. I just want to hear all the dialogue. Anything else over here? I can't really hear the game very well. This earpiece keeps slipping, and I can't hear the game. What are we gonna find over here?
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I haven't seen this before. I haven't gone the escape route before. I'm somehow still alive.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Is that death?
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Or not. Don't you have a way of crouching? And now we have a different voice. The hilarious moment to rip. Rip? Stanley. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
The Stanley Parable. Is this just like a large room? This is a fairly large room. I can't see anything. Roll credits. I did get some credits. Or like it ended up like above the ceiling. And I was looking down at a character who presumably is Stanley. And I got credits for that. And then the next time the game restarted, I pressed a button in my office and it led me to heaven. And then I got stuck in heaven. I don't know what to do there. I'm like, but I want to see what else there is. Oh, what is this?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings? It's so bright in here. Stanley's computer. Stream died for a few seconds for me then? Did it though? I believe we do have quality options. Hopefully that would help. Filing cabinets. Office computers. We play some solitaire on there? Whatever the hell this is. Oh, there's more credits. Are these the same credits? Kevin Brighting as the narrator. Impeccable. Made using source by Valve. Additional music, Kevin MacLeod. I know him, sort of. I know his music. Many YouTubers use it because it's copyright free. Button sounds, a section of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. I'm dual streaming and the other one kept going. It wasn't me, it was you or Twitch. Yeah, it did say that I had unstable connection for a bit. It says I've dropped 3,599 frames so far, which is 0.5% of frames. I guess that's kind of a lot, isn't it? Maintenance room? An early version of the maintenance room. $431, $436. That's just an example of a copier. Someone could just get rid of this text, maybe then I could see what the game is about. Larger words. Point of Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. The point of Stanley Parable is to lose. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image that was that clock back there before. I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? The point of the Stanley Parable is to win. These are the screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD Remix. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. Time for me to hit the sack. Have fun. Sandra, thank you so much for hanging out with us for a little bit. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Bye.
I dropped one right when the walls would have crushed you. It is funny. Hello, my favorite professional streamer. How are you doing? Hello, I am a very professional streamer. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
I hope you're doing well. I'm trying to figure out what the hell this stuff means. New result, subject, wow, congratulations. Congratulations, and oh god, I can't read that. Go back, how do I go back? Narrator emails. After the second trailer was sent out, asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. Infinite quests? How many quests? Do I want to read these emails? The lounge, an early version of the lounge. It does look early. Here's the office. Hey, look, it's my office. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. It was first created November 2011. Second blah, third and blah. So it has had some developments over time. This is what it looks like in the end. Number 427. Game design mock-up. So we get all the behind the scenes within the game. That's pretty interesting. Countdown room, an early version of the countdown room. Have I seen this? Did I look at the countdown room already? Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending as it exists in beta. Countdown desk. One desk from an early version of the countdown ending. I didn't see a countdown ending. I mean, obviously I know there's more stuff. Is that the exit over there? I want to look around a bit more. Freedom ending. This is the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. It's cool, we got all this behind the scenes stuff. Just going back to the floor. No, so now we're back in here. The two doors. Set of open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. The office layout. So I got some credits right there again. Ban emails, super duper ban, totally. The boss's office, screens from the development of the boss's office. That's what it looks like now. I saw the boss's office when it was like green or whatever. I messed up some stuff or whatever in there. Underground, an early version of the underground portion. The employee lounge. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighton, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitively. You have even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. Stanley, of course, being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. Stanley stood on the...
I don't really need to listen to all those. It is pretty cool taking a look around, though. Monitor room elevator. You go up or down with freedom above and countdown. We abandoned when this one to remember what was up and what was down in place of the two endings together instead. What do you mean two endings? Replace the two endings together instead. I haven't seen a countdown, so I don't know what it's talking about really. What is in here though? Zending? Screenshots of pics an early version of Zending, which eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. Zending. Zending levers? Oh, what? The game is frozen. I think I broke the game. I can't do anything. I broke the game, chat. It's not supposed to do this.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Well, whoop-de-doo! So I'm already in here. Just in case something happens, I can just reload this file and I don't have to go all the way down here again. Wait, did I go in here? No, I didn't go in here yet, did I? That looks cool. I don't know what that is. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Alien base? I mean, would you call it an alien base? We submitted Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process in approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. That's pretty cool. I didn't even read that before. There's some emails. But I see what was in here already. The apartment timer. In the previous version above, give you a timer of 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. It's interesting to see, like, the game development stage. Like, you'll see, like, a final product in the end, but you have no idea how much work goes into making it in the first place. I was intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after the version, we decided that we also wanted the option of player falling to their death. Am I getting lost again? The meeting room. Full of hallways. Since the first two doors was important to get right. Since players will replay them so many times, we discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Goes to lounge, and then there's maintenance. I didn't go in the maintenance yet, did I? I haven't gone in the maintenance yet. Oh, this is the hallway that broke the game. Okay, don't try to go down that hallway then. That's the lesson here. But we are not going down that hallway again. Definitely not. There was something else over here though. So let's go take a look. Can we find it? Go down the hallway? No, I can't. The game's gonna break again. We haven't gone over here yet. This is the exit. That freaking hallway breaks the game every time. And it takes forever. Maybe I'll see what is down that way some other time when I'm not like trying to stream it. But for now, it's just gonna be a mystery. Whatever is down the hallway is gonna be a complete mystery.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I could go back still. Is this gonna shut the game off?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Oh, I'm dead again. Squish. Squish that cat. I'm gonna do anything. Not frozen. Whatever. I already did that once before. I didn't go downstairs yet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I didn't go downstairs yet, so let's go downstairs. There's a red light. What does the red light mean? Fire hose.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Thanos.
None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
No, I'm still in the hallway.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
And now we're starting over again. I didn't see what was down the rest of the hallway. A part of me wanted to see when he was done talking.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
The music is freaking me out, though.